Platitudes. I hate those. Positivity for the sake of saying something nice irritates me to the bone. In my romantic view of life, where love moves the sun and the other stars, and elevates the human heart, even when, and this happens a lot to me, love is not returned, I must have an objective and pragmatic analysis of what is going on. Am I going to get slapped in the face? Am I going to be punched in the mouth or kicked in the groin? Or will I be a hero just for one day? I choose hero, at least for the first 27 laps of the Spanish Grand Prix. In my previous soliloquy, I suggested betting on Ferrari for this race. I said that Sector 3 was going to make the difference. And if the upgrades for time management and more top speed were going to work, Ferrari would have been the team to beat. And Charles Leclerc had pole position, saving one new set of tyre for the race. He had first position with almost enough time for a second pit stop and had a fastest lap in the bag. Until something in the engine, hopefully just an electrical issue and not the turbo, gave in. So yes, I felt like a hero for those 27 laps. The race was in Leclerc's hands, just like the championship at the end of race 3. But there were still 40 laps to go, and there are still 2.5 Grand Prix until the end of the season. Anything can happen, but as right now, it looks like Ferrari is back as the best car on the grid. But until now, Ferrari has raced with only one driver, and this can be a problem. Leclerc might be the next world champion, but will Ferrari be the next world champion? Question: who's a champion? If Michael Schumacher left us with anything, it's the definition of a champion. Someone that never gives up and keeps putting in the work. For self-doubting, for the pleasure of performing, for the obnoxious determination in demanding the best. Lewis Hamilton, the other 7-time world champion, has to quit his race at lap 2. He was 19th. He had 50 seconds from the leader. That is not the champion's behavior. If you follow F1, it should not come as a surprise. It's becoming clear every race that Hamilton depends, on a mental level, on a performing car. His former teammate Bottas was asked about the differences between the Mercedes and Ferrari engine just before the Spanish Grand Prix. He said that Ferrari leaves more duties and responsibility to the driver in management of the engine, for example with battery level and gear selections coming off the corner, while those modes were automatic on the Mercedes. Another evidence that the level of talent, which is good, and work rate, which I assume is good too, put by Hamilton in becoming the most successful driver in F1 history, is not as great as the results he got. Those are inflated numbers rooted in political games played by Mercedes and FIA in the last 15 years. Nonetheless, Hamilton finished 5th, 40 seconds behind Verstappen, with a car that has improved in the engine and in the aerodynamic of the floor, and it does not suffer from porpoising, but it suffers from water leaks. Hamilton made the best of the circumstances. His car has got some improvement and he got some luck. It is far from Alonso's example of how to race for the sake of racing, with nothing to gain but the glory and nothing to lose but a fistful of points. And yet, if you follow F1, this has been the leitmotif of the 2007 season, so nothing new. Another question: who's not a champion? Someone who cannot adapt to his car, and someone who cannot adapt the car to his style. And I'm talking about Carlos Sainz, who keeps messing in quali and keeps messing at the start and during the race. And Daniel Ricciardo, who watched Lando Norris scoring points while suffering from tonsillitis. At the end of this new soliloquy, am I still a hero? Do I still feel like a hero? Have I kept my sanity despite going to bed and waking up with a splitting headache? Zero motivation to wake up, zero motivation to record this stupid and useless podcast that's been viewed by maybe 6 people I don't know, zero motivation to do anything but waking up, going to work, returning home, and going to bed. My life seems like there's nothing to look forward to. But at least I'm witnessing a good F1 championship, and this has been so far the best since 2012.